The United Kingdom has seen 2 prime ministers in 3 years, and a third one took over today. And they all have one thing in common, the Brexit challenge. The crown of thorns has now been passed on to former London Mayor Boris Johnson. He replaced Theresa May as Prime Minister earlier today. This evening, Theresa May bid farewell to 10 Downing Street and travelled to Buckingham Palace to tender her resignation. Before handing over charge, May praised Johnson while addressing the Parliament for one last time as Prime Minister, saying that she is glad that her successor is committed to delivering Brexit.
I am pleased to hand over to an incoming Leader of the Conservative Party and Prime Minister, who I worked with when he was in my cabinet, who... who is committed as a Conservative, who stood on a Conservative manifesto in 2017, to delivering on the vote of the British people in 2016 and to delivering a bright future for this country.
Just a while back, Boris Johnson arrived at Buckingham Palace to meet the Queen and then left for 10 Downing Street. He has officially taken charge as the new Prime Minister and repeated his mantra of uniting the people and ensuring that the UK leaves the EU.
Our scientists, our armed forces, our diplomacy, for the equalities on which we insist, whether race or gender or LGBT or the right of every girl in the world to 12 years of quality education, for the values we stand for around the world. Everyone knows the values that flag represents. It stands for freedom and free speech and habeas corpus and the rule of law, and above all it stands for democracy. And that is why we will come out of the EU on October the 31st, because in the end, Brexit was a fundamental decision by the British people.
But it is only a change in the commander leading the forces. The separation battle has been on for the last 3 years, ever since the people of the UK voted to leave the European Union. And Boris Johnson's war cry is to make Brexit happen. But can he? That is the million-dollar question. The new Prime Minister calls it a do-or-die mission. He is confident that the UK will be out of the EU by the set date, that is the 31st of October, with or without a deal. For now, there is no deal. The negotiation so far has been tricky, and Johnson suffered a blow within minutes of being elected yesterday. The European Union rejected his Brexit plan, and that's not his only headache. The pound is sinking, the economy is at risk of recession, and allies are not sure what lies in store. Boris Johnson has been described as a chameleon. Some say that he has reinvented himself so many times that it's hard to know what to expect from him. Apart from being the former Mayor of London and the British Foreign Secretary, he also likes to describe himself as a son-in-law of India. His ex-wife, Marina Wheeler, is half Indian. She is the niece of renowned writer, the late Khushwant Singh. Throughout his campaign, Johnson tried his best to strike a chord with the Indian diaspora of his party, harping on what he calls a personal connect with the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. New and improved trade ties between the UK and India has been one of the promises that Boris Johnson has been making, and an overall special relationship. He also wants India to open up to more British brands and lower duties imposed on whisky manufactured in Scotland. According to Boris Johnson, post-Brexit, there would be a requirement of more professionals in the medical field, which India could fulfill. But for that, he needs to make Brexit happen first. Time is running out, and so is the patience of the people of the UK.